Do you want to know what top listing agents do when they're having a dark period in their business, where the storms are gathering, they've closed out all their escrows, they have no new business, and are starting to freak out? Let me tell you, there are 6 things that top agents always address. And this is super, super important that you address each one of these 6 things if you want to make it through the crazy times that we are calling right now. I mean, politically, economically, interest rates, all the crazy stuff on the news all over the world. And, you know, it's really, really important that we really stay focused and do these 6 following things, because if you are even missing one of these things, then what's the point of you being in business? Chris Stafford, I'm a 30-plus year listing agent in San Francisco, also the founder of the Listing Collective, where I coach some of the top listing agents in the country. So if you want more information about that, definitely hit the link down below. But here's the deal. There are 6 things that I've really attributed the success of top listing agents. Let me tell you, I used to have a podcast. I interviewed close to 100 listing agents that were successful. I've been coaching for over 10 years. I am in the trenches in San Francisco for 30 plus years as a top producer with a high average sales price north of $2 million. And the thing that I have basically distilled this business down are these 6 things. Okay, number 1, you have to have a vision. If you don't have a vision for your business, you don't know where you're going with this, you don't know why you're doing it. I mean, why are you running your business right now? Why are you putting up with all the crap that everybody puts up with running their own entrepreneurial business called real estate? So what's your why? That's really important to get you through those tough times. And most importantly, though, too, what is your vision for your business? How do you know that you're going to be a success? How are you going to conduct yourself? How are you going to conduct yourself with your clients? What are your numbers and goals that you want to try to hit? Put this in a vision statement. This is super, super important. Number 2, you have to have a kick-ass business plan. I can't tell you how many listing agents that just don't have a business plan. They don't have a vision. They don't have any goals. They don't have any marketing strategy. That's killer right there, a marketing strategy. And I think also, what's your schedule like? What is your business like? Breaking down last year's results to this year's results. How can we improve? This all should be in a business plan. And a business plan is something that's an organic, living, breathing document. You want to do a really cool business plan. And you can do it. If you want one of my templates, ask me for it. Just put template in the comments below. I'll give you my business plan template. You can do it on 2 pieces of paper. It doesn't have to be a 40-page document. But you have to have a kick-ass business plan. Number 3, part and parcel of the business plan is, and this is a big part, you have to have at least 3 streams of listing income. Okay, so you should have 3 streams of listings. In the old days, back in my previous life, I was a CPA at PricewaterhouseCoopers. And one of the things that we always talked about is when we were evaluating companies, we would always say, and we would have to disclose to stockholders if there was a concentration of risk. In other words, if you had a high-tech company, I was in charge of the high-tech department in San Francisco, and if you had a high-tech company, and let's just say 90% of your revenue came from one source, came from one company or whatever, you have to disclose that to stockholders, because if that high-tech company loses that one source, then guess what? It's dead in the water. It's going to go bankrupt. It's the same thing with our listing business. You don't want to just concentrate on one thing. You don't want to just concentrate. I know somebody in Southern California that only does knocking on doors. Great. I don't like it myself, but knocking on doors can be very effective, and he's very good at it. But, if he breaks a leg or can't get out there and walk, he doesn't have any other sources of listings coming down the pike. So just like my audit example with my as a CPA, or just like the door knocker, you don't want to limit yourself to just one thing. You want to have 3 different streams of income. Maybe it's One is your SOI, working and building your SOI. I have all kinds of strategies around that in the Listing Collective. Another thing could be probates, for instance. A third thing could be expireds, if you wanted, or calling out of area owners. I mean, there's just so many different ways that you can get listings without spending money. But you really want to be working those three things constantly, every single day. That's your job, man, because if you're not, guess what? You're going to be dead in the water. Your listing pipeline is going to be dry as a bone, and that's not what top agents do. They are concentrating every single day on prospecting and finding new business. Number four, what's number four? Working with sellers efficiently, okay? And really practicing your scripts, having a kick-butt listing presentation that you practice, that you have down. Stand in the mirror, practice your scripts. Better yet, get a script buddy that you can. I have a number of people in my program that are actually twice, 3 times a week are actually calling another real estate agent and practicing their scripts. You know, and even if you just do it for 10 minutes every single day, you want to internalize the objection handlers so that when somebody says, I want you to cut your commission, bam, you can come right out and handle that objection, okay? Number 5, and this is something that is super, super important, because for me, and this is one of the main tenets that we teach in the Listing Collective, is when you're developing strategies to get listings, you always want to run it through a filter of how can I increase my average sales price. So that's one of the reasons why I really like probates, for instance, or working NODs, or working out-of-area owners, because not only is it free, basically, but the cool thing is that when you're actually going through those things, you can cherry pick the listings that you want. You know, you don't want an $89,000 fixer with a bunch of cats smelling everything up. No, you want to go a lot higher than that, and you can pick during your strategizing, you can pick the listings that you want. Maybe it's in a beautiful area that you want to work. Maybe it's over a certain price point that you want to work. But making sure that you're increasing your average sales price every single day is super important, and make that a part of your marketing strategy. And I've always done this in the past 30 plus years I've been in business. Finally, number 6 is, and this is really important because, again, as a CPA in my prior life, I used to always be looking for the best investments. And, you know, I think selling real estate as a listing agent, you can have a great life if you do it right, but it's not going to make you wealthy. What's going to make you wealthy is what you're doing with your commission checks. Top agents are buying assets, all right? They're not buying Pokemon cards and, I don't know, stupid tchotchkes and things that are just gathering dust in your garage. You need to be buying assets. And so I love talking about that with my people in the Listing Collective, because it's really super important. You know, what are we doing with our money once we're making all this great big money? Because you're a top agent and you're following these 6 principles, things that you should be doing every single day and concentrate on these things to make you the top listing agent you are. Again, hit the link down below. I'd love to get into detail with some of these things, and I'd love for you to learn more about the Listing Collective and how we can dramatically increase your listing production. 2, 5, 10x your listing production today.